55% majority. That's again, as I said, that is an accepted error. But for you as engineers, you orang sebagai golongan engineer, kenapa 33 orang pula kelas ni tiba-tiba? Tak apalah, tengok. But for you as engineers, that should not be the case. You need to be precise. 55% is not a majority. 55% is what we call just more than half. More than half. A majority means hampir keseluruhan, hampir kesemuanya. Okay, majority means hampir kesemuanya. So anywhere between maybe 80 to 90%. That is a majority. So when you present your data using pie chart, be careful. More than 55% isn't enough for a majority. It's just more than half. But if you get 80%, 90%, 92%, that is considered as majority. Remember, majority means hampir kesemua. Yeah. Again, well, majority is not 55%. 60% is not majority. Majority means hampir kesemua. Yeah. So it should be anyway 75, 80, 90 baru dikira majority. Okay, next. Okay, what do you call this? Okay, what do you call this? A quarter. Quarter. Okay. When I say it with me, sila sebut dengan saya. You don't have to open your mic. Okay. Jadi kita akan practice sama-sama lah. You can practice at your home. Okay. Sebut sendiri. Ataupun baca cakap dalam hati. Suka hati you lah. Okay. So, say it with me. A quarter. A quarter. Now, aside from this, okay, what would you call this? Okay. This one is a quarter. This one is 2 quarter. Okay. Same goes with this. What do you call this? 3. Minta maaf, saya menulis pakai mouse. 3 quarter. Okay. Say it with me. A quarter. 2 quarter. 3 quarter. Okay, iklan sekejap. How many percent is a quarter? 25%. Okay. How many percent is 2 quarter? Half or 50%. Tak wujud sebenarnya 2 quarter ni. So 2 quarter tak wujud sebetulnya. So you can just call it 50% or half. Okay. How many percent is 3 quarter? 75%. Okay, so a quarter is 25%. 3 quarters is 75%. Okay, do you understand this part? Okay, Gelek, faham tak? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next. Aside from a quarter, 25%, what about this symbol here? Aside from saying it a quarter or 25%, okay, let's just do it this way lah. Okay, let's say this. How do you describe this? How would you say this? Okay, most people would say 3 over 6. Betul tak? And it's correct. 3 over 6. What about this? Okay, 4 over 9. 4 over 9. But that is a bit too long. So the easiest way for you to do something like this, to describe this kind of numbers, you go and describe something like this. Okay, 3 over 6, you can also call it as, you can also call it as 3 3/6. Tambah TS di hujung. 3/6. Okay, say it with me. 3/6. Say it. 3/6. Okay, what about this? 4/9. 4/9. 4/9. 4/9. Okay, but there is a different. There is an exception, except for this. When you see this number, it's automatically called 1/3. 1/3. 1/3. Okay, yang lain semua tambah t. Another example. 4/15. 4/15. T. Say it with me. 4/15. 4/15. Okay. One last example. 9/26. 9/26. Say it with me. 9/26. Okay? Boleh? Ataupun 9/26 lah. But it's much more faster when you say 9/6. 9/26. Okay. Again, kamera makin lama makin ramai tak ada ni. Okay, iklan sekejap. Again, a reminder. What is a percentage of a quarter? What is the percentage?
25.
25%. Okay, good. Okay. So 25%, 25% adalah a quarter. Now, ini iklan tak kena mengena ya. Pernah dengar motor Y suku tak? Pernah dengar motor Y suku tak? Pernah Okay, apa model Y suku? Y apa nak apa? Ialah apa model Y1
15.
15. Okay. So apa yang suku ni? Berapa cc motor Y suku ni?
150.
150 cc. So, is this a quarter? Adakah ini suku?
No.
Adakah no? Is this a quarter? Adakah ini suku? 15 ni.
No.
Yes or no? Is 15 a quarter? Adakah 15 dikira sebagai satu quarter? Yes or no? Quarter mesti 25%. No, atau nombor 25. Is 15 a quarter? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
The cc, is this a quarter? A quarter liter?
No.
Kalau quarter liter adalah 250 cc. Ini adalah 250. This what we call a quarter liter bike. A quarter liter. Maksudnya per 1 liter. 250 cc per 1000 cc. So, adakah betul when you call Y15 as Y suku? Is it correct to call Y15 as Y suku?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. So again, that is another example of an accepted mistake. Okay, itu adalah salah satu contoh di mana kesilapan yang sudah diterima pakai. So tak perlu nak betulkan orang, terima je lah. Okay, done. Any questions so far? Okay, done. Now let's move on to this. Okay, I have sent you this file. Let me just double check to make sure I did send you the file in WhatsApp group. Siapa Haziq Nafal ni? Haziq Nafal, are you in this class? Haziq Nafal. Ada ke sebut nama tadi?
Ada tuan. Ya, tuan.
Okay. Siapa Azmi Ishak dalam WhatsApp group ni?
Saya puan. Saya boleh masuk lah.
What's your name, sir?
Ya.
What's your name, sir? Your full name?
Oh, my name Muhammad Azmi bin Ishaq.
Ni
Muhammad
DET,
Azmi bin Ishaq.
ya sayang. Ni DET 5, 5D ke? 5D ke?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Ya, saya. 5D.
Nama you I dah panggil tadi ke?
Ya.
Nama you I dah panggil
Muhammad Azmi
Nama you sayang, I dah panggil belum? Tadi dalam attendance.
Tadi cik panggil ni saya tak boleh masuk ni. Saya baru boleh masuk.
Okay, sir. What's your matric number, sir?
1170.
Okay, ada. Kenapa tiba-tiba? Tengok. Kurang seorang. Tak apa dah. Aku dah pening dah. Okay, attendance okay. So just let me say your WhatsApp. Okay, dalam WhatsApp you, I dah hantar file dia. Nama file ialah 4 students. Okay, 4 students. Sila buka file tu kalau anda berpeluang. Yes. Okay, dalam file ni, make sure this part here. Part ni. Part line graph ni. This one is very important. Please read because this will be in your test and for your first assignment. About your first assignment, I will discuss about your first assignment next week. Okay, minggu ni I dah settlekan dulu ni. I akan bagi assignment tu minggu hadapan. Faham?
Okay, sir.
So, jangan risau. I will talk about the assignment next week. Jangan si WhatsApp. Sir, assignment bila hantar semua, bila hantar assignment semua. Tak apa, I akan cakap pasal tu minggu depan. I nak sebab ada kelas yang ketinggalan. So, I nak semua buat serentak start minggu hadapan. Okay, so let's take a look at line graph. Again, this part is very important. Start daripada 1.2 ni sampai sini. Because a lot of your test question and your assessment will be based on this words. Okay, so line graph. Now again, I ulang untuk kali ke-25. Bar charts, you look at the high data versus the low data. Pie chart, you look at the sizes of the data, the differences in size. Okay, size mana paling besar, size mana paling kecil. Line chart, the data must be continuous. The data cannot be independent. Maksudnya data yang you nak guna untuk line chart mestilah berterusan. Contohnya jualan kuih untuk sepanjang minggu ini. So you jual beli sama berterusan. You tak boleh guna data yang independent. Contohnya berapa biji buah ada dekat rumah Ali dan siapa nama girlfriend Abu, contohnya. It cannot be done that way. Line graph must be dependent data and must be continuous data. And because why do you need those kind of data? Because you want to see the movement of the graph. You want to see the movement of the graph. Okay? You tengok graph tu bergerak macam mana. Movement, macam mana dia bergerak. Okay, so data dia mestilah berterusan dan dependent to one another. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these boxes, these columns, and we're going to go through the words and how to use those words. In which situation do you use those words, right? Mulut saya kering. Tak apalah, semua kita masuk line graph. Let's take a 2-minute break. Boleh? Break 2 minit. First part is the increasing line. How do we describe increasing movement of data in a line graph? Macam mana kita nak describe increasing movement of the data? So we're going to look at the words that are being used. Okay, and which part is it appropriate to be used? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, because not all words can be used for all parts. Okay. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's take a look at the word increased. Increase. Okay, pause. Iklan sekejap. Sekejap ya. When you see this word here dalam bracket, TO, add, it just means that whenever you write in a sentence, for example, the data rose, the data went up, the sales climbed. It means that whenever you write this word, the word to, TO, follows along with it. Meaning that the data rose to, the sales increased to, the production went up to. Itu saja maksud dia. So don't worry much about that. Okay, simple matter. Okay, so let's take a look at this graph that I draw. that I drew just now. So you can see here, I put number 1, number 2, and number 3. So 1 is a small one. It's just a small one, right? Number 2, padam ni. Mana madam? Give me a second here. Number 1 is small. Number 2, normal size, and number 3, the big one. So when I look at the appropriateness of using this word compared to the increase, compared to the movement. So I'll give you an example. Increase, right? Increase. Increase can be used for all 3 occasions. Number 1, you can describe it. You can describe it as increase. The data increase. Number 2, the sales increase. Number 3, there is an increase of flood, contohnya. Okay, you can describe all 3 as increase. But for increase, it's a bit special. Because most likely what you need to do for the word increase, you need to add an adjective behind it. An adjective behind it. For example, small increase. Kalau small increase, number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 1.
Number 1. Good. Kalau huge, big, large, number 3. Huge increase, large increase, big increase. So you use that number 3. Okay, number 2, increase. So you can use for all 3. Okay, but not all words are appropriate for all movements. Okay, so let's take a look at rows. Rows means meningkat. Meningkat. So do you use it at number 1, number 2, or number 3? You use it mostly on number 1 and number 2. Take note, Again, kalau you miss, you terlepas, jangan risau. This session is being recorded. You can watch it again and take notes. Okay, so rows is usually for 1 and 2. Kalau untuk yang besar, peningkatan besar, jarang orang pakai rows, jarang. Went up. 1, 2, or 3? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Climbed. Memanjat. Climbed. 1, 2, or 3? Usually all, tapi more appropriate 2 dan 3. So buat nota lah, climb, 2, and 3. Kita pandai nota nanti Okay. Boom. Boomed. Meletup. So is this a boom, meletup? Is this a small thing or a big thing when things explode? Boom. It's a big thing. So boom. Do you use boom at number 1? No. At number 2? No. You use boom at number 3. Okay, boom only for number 3. Meaning it's a big thing, it's dramatic and everything. So it's much more appropriate at number 3. The next one is soar. Soar. Soar means tinggi, terbang melayang, di langit, okay, di awan semua. Soar, tinggi melayang. So 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. Good. You don't use soar for number 1, number 2. You use soar for number 3 because it's a big. You tinggi, terbang di langit, rendah ke langit tu? Tinggi. So number 3. Arise sama arose, increase sama growth, membesar. So 1, 2, or 3. Growth is like increase. You can use for all 3, but you must add an adjective behind it. Number 1, a small growth. Number 3, a big growth or a huge growth. Okay. Now, finally, an upward trend. Upward trend lain sikit. Upward trend is actually, it doesn't describe small movements. It describes the entire graph. The entire graph. So let's say the graph is like this. You look at the trend. On average, the entire graph, the pattern of the graph, it is an upward trend. Dia menaik. Pattern dia meningkat. Trend dia meningkat. Faham tak? So upward trend means dia meningkat secara keseluruhannya. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's move on to the second column. Again, 3 movements, a small one, a standard one, and a large one. Okay, so we look at the declining movements. Okay, again, decrease, all 3 can be used for decrease, but you add an adjective behind it. A small decrease or a huge decrease. The same with decline, okay, a small decline or a huge decline. Okay, sometimes you can add adjective, but not every word you can add adjective. Okay, fell, jatuh, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, it can be used for all 3. Okay, but it's much more appropriate for number 1 and number 2. Maksudnya tak salah guna untuk 3-3, tapi lebih sesuai untuk you guna di situasi nombor 1 atau nombor 2. Decreased, again, all 3, but you add adjective. A small decrease, a huge decrease, a large decrease. Now next one, dipped. Dipped, D-I-P-P-E-D, dipped. Dip in Malay means celup. Celup. So, celup. So, benda tu cetek ke dalam? Kalau you celup. Dalam. Serious. Bila you celup at something, you ambil. Bila you mencelup. So, cetek. Celup. Celup. You celup kaki, celup tangan. Celup. Tahu celup? Ini bahasa Johor ke tak tahu lah sebab orang Johor. Have you heard the word celup?
Yes.
Okay. So, cetek. So, when it comes to celup, right? When it comes to celup, right? It's shallow. So, pendek, cetek. So, can you use deep for number 3? Celup for number 3, deep.
No.
Yes or no? No. Okay, number 2 pun no. Deep is for number 1. Okay, cetek saja, number 1. Dropped, jatuh, drop. 1, 2, or 3? 1 and 2.
3.
1 and 2. 1 and 2, drop. So drop ni jatuh biasa saja. Tapi kalau number 3 boleh, tapi kalau tulis huge drop, a big drop, boleh lah. Okay. Went down. Went down, 1, 2, or 3. Dia dramatic sikit went down ni. So 2 and 3. Went down, 2 and 3. Slumped, tersungkur. Slump, tersungkur. So 1, 2, or 3? 3.
3.
3. Tapi kadang-kadang nombor 2 pun boleh. Okay. So reduce dikurangkan. So bukan 3. Reduce mesti pengurangan. So sedikit sajalah. So number 1 or number 2. Number 1, number 2. Okay, any questions? Again, this session is being recorded. Memang agak laju, tapi you boleh tengok banyak kali. Okay. Any questions so far? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next. We're going to look at this. The third column. Okay. The third column basically data that are steady, data that remains constant. Tambah satu kataan lagi. Okay, dan tulis kat nota kamu, constant. Ini wajib. Constant, C-O-N-S-T-A-N-T, constant, sentiasa. Data dia sentiasa. Katakanlah data dia kat 50, maksudnya sini 50, sini 50, sini 50, sini 50, dan sini pun 50. Sentiasa pada keadaan stabil. Faham tak? Okay. Data dia sentiasa. Constant. Okay, so constant. Nama lain untuk constant adalah leveled out, did not change, remain stable, remain steady, stayed constant, remain the same level, a leveling out, no change. Faham setakat ni? Faham setakat ni? Guys?
Faham, sir.
Okay, but
Yes, sir. Faham.
But there is another type of constant. Okay, meaning a constant increase or a constant decrease. Let's take for example, katakanlah hari ni Makcik Leha jual 1 biji nasi lemak. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tak salah. Hari ni 1. Esok 2. Lusa 3. Tulat 4. Cilapop 5. Okay. Meaning, every day that Makcik Leha sells nasi lemak, there is a constant increase of sale. Maksudnya dia punya penjualan tu meningkat dengan secara constant sentiasa. Bukan sentiasa, meningkat dengan secara sentiasa dan stabil. Maksudnya sini constant sini lah, so plus 1. So hari 1, esok 2. Lepas tu lusa plus 1 lagi. Tulat plus 1 lagi. Celepuk plus 1 lagi. So there is a constant increase of plus 1. Can you see here? So peningkatan yang constant, stabil, sentiasa. Faham tak? Okay, the same goes with constant decrease. Constant decrease. Katakanlah hari ni Makcik Leha belanja bagi anak dia RM20. Esok dia bagi anak dia RM15. Lusa dia bagi anak dia RM10. Lepas tu tulat dia bagi anak dia RM5. So -5, -5, -5. So it's a constant decrease. Constant decrease. Penurunan yang sentiasa. Okay, do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, but constant can also be describing a pattern. Okay. Walaupun ini nilai dia penurunan, katakan sini turun 10, sini turun 5, sini turun 1, sini turun 20, salah. But as a whole, okay, the pattern shows is in a constant decrease. Secara keseluruhan, constant decrease or constant increase pattern. Ianya juga boleh menggambarkan a constant increase. Okay, any questions so far? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no questions. Okay, can I go on to the next column? Next row, boleh tak?
Can.
Okay, so sini ada salah. Tolong padam dalam nota you. Stood at padam, salah. Peak at, salah. Okay, this data is called fluctuation. Okay, fluctuation. So say it with me. Okay, practice this word with me. Fluctuation. Okay, say flux, F-L-U-K, flux. Chew, C-H-U, chew. Fluctu. Shen. S-H-E-N, shen. Shen. Fluctuation. So for data that is fluctuation, meaning that data dia menggila. Sejak naik atas, turun bawah, atas, turun bawah. So that's it. Or you can call it as zigzag. Zigzag orang jarang pakai. Zigzag mostly pada data macam ni. Ni zigzag. Tapi jarang orang describe ni. Kalau ada bentuk macam ni pun orang akan panggil fluctuation. Maksudnya data dia menggila. Naik turun. Dia menggila. Okay. Sorry, padam ni reach a peak pun salah. Ada error kat situ. Simple. Fluctuation meaning that the data is going crazy. Okay, done. Now let's move on to this one. A peak. Say it with me. Peak. To peak. To reach a peak. To reach a high point. To hit record levels. So basically this data basically means data yang paling tinggi di puncak. Okay, peak maksudnya puncak. Point yang paling tinggi. Bukan kat sini, bukan kat sini, bukan. Here. Data paling tinggi. Simple enough. Okay tak? Angguk atau giling? Okay tak? Okay. Next one is a low point. Say it with me. A low point. A low point. To bottom out. To bottom out. to bottom out, to hit a low point. To hit a low point. So for this type of data symbol, okay, titik mana paling rendah? So titik yang paling rendah. The bottom. Okay, a low point. Titik paling rendah. Senang nak faham. Fluctuation sama. Next word, the final one is a plateau. Okay, say it with me. P-L-E, toe, T-E-W, toe. Okay, bukan tiu, toe. Plateau, a plateau, a plateau, a plateau. A plateau basically means landaian, landaian, kawasan lapang, macam padang, okay. Ya, kalau mak message kena balas. Jangan tak reply mak message. Sorry, my mom. Minta maaf. Plateau means landaian, padang. Okay, pernah tengok padang poli tak? Macam itu, dia landaian, kawasan lapang, plateau. Tapi plateau ni sepatutnya bukan, tapi padang poli tu rendah tau. Dia maksudnya plateau ni kawasan tinggi lah. So when you look at the graph, right? Kawasan yang landaian macam ni, this is the plateau. This is the plateau, daripada sini sampai sini. To reach a plateau, untuk mencapai plateau, maksudnya di mana data tu start stabil. Katakanlah sini 50 kan, semua 50 semua ni kan. So to reach a plateau, the first 50, ini adalah to reach a plateau, untuk mencapai landaian. To level off, sini, the starting point. Okay, plateau basically landaian, ataupun kat mana data dia start constant. Okay, any questions? Any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this class ada lagi 2 orang yang tidak daftar untuk flip grid. Seperti ada 20 orang dalam kelas ni. DET5D. Okay, baru 30 orang, lagi 2 orang tak daftar. I'm telling you this once, I will tell you for the last time. Okay. Sorry, lagi 3 orang tak daftar. You punya first assignment, you akan upload kepada Flipgrid. I takkan layan siapa-siapa yang tiba-tiba message saya, "Sir, I tak boleh nak upload ke Flipgrid lah." No, sebab you last minute baru nak daftar. You understand me? Okay, nanti minggu depan I akan ingat sekali lagi. Please register for your Flipgrid supaya tak ada masalah untuk you hand in your assignments. Okay. So that's it for today. Any questions? Any questions? 5. Any questions? 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, a reminder, if you have any questions you want to ask me, do not PM me in the personal PM. So, I tak tahu you siapa, kelas mana. Then, if you have any questions, just ask in the WhatsApp group. Jangan malu. So, kadang-kadang bila student tanya soalan tu bagus selalunya. Soalan tu bagus. Dan lagi better kalau kawan-kawan you yang lain dapat dengar jawapan saya. So, please ask me questions in the WhatsApp. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. I will see you next week. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wow. Bye.
Hey you.
Mac. Oh, Mac.